Hello and welcome to this new video. Today I'm going to show you the solution that I designed to write Pandas data frame object like this and straight into your PowerPoint slide or Excel file. Okay, I believe for Excel you can use, Pandas data frame is given the Excel writer method, so you can just do Pandas to Excel. I'm going to show you, but for the PowerPoint one, there's no such things. You have to do it by yourself. So here I designed an API to go really fast. So you will just have to define the style and you can customize it as much as you want. You have to notice that I'm not using any of the PowerPoint command that you are seeing here. Same for the Excel, not any of this. It's all done programmatically, just taking the pandas object and I'm defining the style, and then when you open the file, the Excel will just interpreted all the styling and assign the yellow, this kind of stuff. Okay, so this is it. This is really interesting because you don't even need to have PowerPoint installed on the computer or Windows on this kind of stuff. You can, for example, set up a cron job that will be executing the codes and generate you this beautiful reporting, like maybe daily, this kind of stuff. Because this is a issue that I was facing, and I have to use PowerPoint all the time. But now, just with Python, I could do this, and you can even see by applying the styling. I'm doing, let's say, kind of conditional formatting, the stem that we are using with Excel here. You can see that it's only available for Excel, okay, but for PowerPoint, there's no. All right, so that was really hard to do. You can apply some logic to your data while you are styling it. For example, here is a sample data for like uptime of servers in many cities. And I define the threshold. If it's less than the threshold, it's red. If it's more, it will be green. All this have been done programmatically. We are just applying the logic to the the data while we are filling into the PowerPoint. Okay, so I'm going to show you the code. So this is the project. Is really small. I'm going to, after I finish the video, I'm going to push it into the repo on my GitHub, and I will put the link into the description of this video. Okay, so you can have access to it, and you can also give your suggestion if you want to, because there's a lot of data to come. So I'm going to show you. You will see. So the main code is here in the SLC directory. This is PPTX reporter. This is the code that is managing the filling, the data writing into the PowerPoint, and here is for the Excel one. So for the PowerPoint, I'm using PPTX, which is a library that helps you to write data into PowerPoint. Normally, it doesn't help you to write like table. I mean, maybe for the table, yes, but not in that way, like with applying logic to the styling, apply the styling that way. No, 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 you don't see it in PPTX. So what I did is just, I wrote, let's say, some method that will help you to do this really fast. So you just have to specify the styling that you want to apply to the data, and then behind the scene, I define a lot of methods that will help you to do this. Let me give you a quick example. You can see for this alignment, I set this alignment, the horizontal alignment to center, for example, and then behind the scene, I set up some instruction to use the proper attribute or parameters to define to do this. Okay, so here I'm using pp dot center, and I'm giving it to this variable. Okay, so you don't need to know about all of this. You just have to do like horizontal equals center, and you are done. Okay, so this is an example. We are using pixels unit, for example, but PPTX is using EMU unit, so you don't have to worry about that. I'm using pixels, so the conversion will be done automatically behind the scene. You see, this kind of small things, my method or my API is handle all of this. So I'm going to show you how quick is it now. Let's go straight to the demo. So in the demo, I'm going to show you how I did this and also this into the Excel one. Okay. So first of all, we create the data, the sample data, pretty easy. And so this is going to be a Pandas data frame object. This is here, no styling, no nothing. just a data frame object inside our memory. Next, this is the function, or you can, yeah, or the logic that I will apply to the data while I'm filling it. Okay, so for example, you can see that if the element is more than the threshold, it's going to be flag shape at green. If it's less, it's going to flag shape at red. Okay, so I'm not going to explain this right here. Let's keep moving first, and then I'm going to going back to this to explain exactly how it works. All right, so here is the styling part. Here is the styling part. Okay, so no, I'm going to show you this one first. This is the main part for the styling. I call it like the blueprint of the styling. Okay, so you can see that it's separated into two parts. Sorry, the first part is the header, and the header is this thing you are seeing here. Let me show you in the Excel. This one. And the rows, what I call it rows here, is just the other data. Like all of this is the rows. Okay. So how did we define the style here? For the header, the first parameter is the height in pixels in it. Okay, so you can go for 20 here, 30. This is what I did. No, let's use Excel, because this one is for Excel. You can see the method is create Excel style. Okay, I will show you the PowerPoint one down, because I think it's quite different. It's almost the same thing, but I did it a bit different. I didn't synchronize yet. In future updates, there will be only one style, and then it can be applied for the PowerPoint or the Excel one, both together. So for the header, as I said, we have the height that is set up to 30, and then we have the style. Okay, so we have a default colon style. Basically, it's just a default style that will be applying to all the header. Okay, to all this header. All right. So let me show you how my style is designed, because style here is a dictionary, and I'll show you how it's designed. So it's this one, default color style. Yeah. So it's this one. All right. So inside this dictionary, I have like the font. You have to set up if it's bold, you want the type of font you want, the size, the color, if you want to wrap the text, the background color, the alignment, and the border thin. I mean, for now, this is the sorry, the different style that I've set up. More will become in next updates, but yeah, I think with those four, I think yeah, most of this style can be done. Okay, font, background color, alignment, and border type. All right. Sorry. So this is the default style I'm applying for the header right here. So you can see that the background is hello. This is the hello and color codes. Okay, the font is black. This is the black code, the black color code. There's no wrapping. The font's name is, or font type is Calibri. This is the one I'm using. Is it bold? Yes, you can see that it's bold. Okay, basically this is how I'm doing. This is what I call a style here. Okay, then I have the next parameter is this one. So this is a Boolean. So what is it? Is there a style formatting? What I'm calling style formatting here is customization. So basically you can, maybe let's say you want to customize just threshold in this header. Okay, just the threshold cell. Okay, if I wanted to do this, I will have to, like, for example, create a style. How I can do this? I will just do like, I will just give a name to the style I want to apply. I do like threshold header style. Okay, simple as it. And then yeah, I have a suggestion from my GitHub Copilot. And then after, I have to specify the header, not column, the header where I want to apply this style. So let's say I want to apply it to threshold only. So I will have to specify here threshold. Okay, and what kind of style I want to apply to it. This is threshold style right here. Okay, so you just have to put it. So when you execute it, maybe if maybe you want the background, this threshold, this header threshold background to be, I don't know, what color is there? Maroon. Okay, so you can just, I mean, go find the maroon color code, and it will be applied to maroon. Done. Okay, this is how I define it. But for now, we don't need it, because on the rows, I'm going to show you. There's also customized styling in the rows, so I'm going to show you there. So this is just to explain to you how it works. So the next part is the rows, and as I say, the rows is all of this. Okay, basically all of this. So we need to define the default row style. What style you want to apply to all the rows, and the style is right here. Okay, so the font is Calibri. Also, the size is 10, it's not 11. We have black black color for the font. The background is different. Background color is different. The alignment is almost the same, and the border also is almost the same. Okay, this is by default what we're applying. I think by default is this one. You see this type? This is the one right here. So you can already see that it's a bit different from the one what OpenPyXL is like proposing by default. Okay, with OpenPyXL it's quite you have to write a lot of code to do this. Me, I already centralize everything right here, like in this blueprint style. So you don't need to worry about like write a lot of code for each cell for design each stuff. Okay, and for the PowerPoint is getting even more interesting, because there's not even a solution designed to write Pandas data frame into PowerPoint. But let's go. So where we were, okay, we have this type. Then the next parameter is like is for customize a specific cell. Yeah, customize specific cell. So this is the you have to put this boolean variable, like is there style formatting? You have to put it to true, because there will be style formatting. There will be customized styling. Basically, that's what it means, customized styling. Maybe I will change the name in a future update instead of using style formatting. So you have to define into the style formatting the style that you want to apply. Okay, so me, I call it apply light spring green, and I want to apply this style for this threshold colon. Okay, so because here I have colon consent to apply the format threshold. Okay, so as I say, the rows is all this. Okay, so not like the header, the style will be applying for all of these rows, only for threshold, because I have specified that I want to apply only for the colon threshold right here. Next, you have to specify which style we need to apply to your threshold, to the threshold column. Okay, so we just write style and then define the threshold style. Okay, so for define the threshold style, I just copy the default row style right here. Okay, and I will just change the background, okay, to light green. Okay, so this is a light green color code 90EE90. I did it here. Okay, and done. Okay, so that's my first styling, customized styling to a specific column. Okay, so you can see that the threshold column is light green. Okay, compared to the other default. This is default, but this is customized styling. Okay, what else? So next is to apply a conditional formatting, the same that we have here for the Excel file. You know, you can highlight a cell to a certain column according to the condition that you have set up. Okay, in Excel. Okay, you also have a lot of conditional formatting in Excel. In my code, I didn't define that much, but in next update, I'm going to have one. So yeah, but still, but I'll show you. I don't want to talk a lot. I'll show you. So first, you have to flag this boolean to true to specify, okay, we want conditional formatting. And then in the conditional formatting, you have to define a name for it, because you know why I did it that way, because for example, here I'm going to, how to call it, okay, highlight city of target, because you can have a lot of conditional formatting. Let me show you. Maybe I want to have another one, and I will call it city on target. Another one, and I will call it something, I can have as much as I want. Okay. That's why I have to give a name. I design it. So before you start to writing, you have to give a name to the style or the condition formatting that you want to apply. Okay, you want to apply right here. So after that, I'm going to give you the column that I'll be concerned. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I think all of this column will be concerned by the styling. Okay, because this is what we want to apply the logic. So it's all of this column. So it starts from the D column all the way down to here. Okay, so next is the function that we want to use for the conditional formatting, and this is the function I wrote above here. So basically, because as I said before, to write the data into the PowerPoint of the Excel, I'm just looping through the whole data frame. I'm converting to an array. I'm not looping through it. You can check it on the SLC, like the Excel reporter code and etc. So what I'm filling the data, and sorry, yeah, while I'm filling the data, I'm applying the styling. Okay, so while I'm applying the styling, I can apply this specific function while looping to the data. So the cell, the row, and the element, all of this will be given to the function. Okay, to apply the logic now, like the conditional formatting to the, how to say, to the data. Yeah. So I hope you can understand. Uh, Sorry, the explanation I know is not quite um, it's not quite right. But if you read the code, you can understand what I'm saying properly. Okay. Because let me go to Excel reporter so you can understand what I'm saying. You can see that it's just looping. You see, I'm looping through the data, and then when, like, during this looping, when I'm hitting the column where I'm to apply, for example, the logic, the code stop, and then it send all those data to this function. Okay, the cell, the row, and all that stuff. And the function, for example, here, you're going to check, okay, is it the element in the row? Sorry, is it the element in the cell is a value, is a real value? Yeah, is a number. It's not a number. It's not just to return the element and the format. Sorry, and then you're going to return this one. Is element for the condition verified to none, and then no formatting will be applied. But if it's a real number, we can keep going. Now he will check, is it the value more than the threshold? If it's more, we are going to set up the uh, sorry, we are going to return that variable and set is format condition verified to true. Okay, if it's not, we are going to set up this variable is format verified condition to false. Okay, so here my method behind the scene, when he see this variable to true, he will apply a certain style, okay, that are already defined in the sorry, yeah, in my blueprint styling. Okay, so I have to define the font to apply if condition is true is green style. The font to apply if condition is false is the red style, and the style also already be defining here. It look complicated, but it's not. It's really easy. It's really easy and really centralized, because if you have to do the same thing just using the OpenPython normal without using my code, it's a lot of work. Okay, you have to do a lot of work, and here everything is centralized. Okay, so this is the condition of formatting. You define the codes where you want to apply the function. Let's call it that way, the function, my function. And then you can see I also define a default argument, which is the threshold. I set it to 98. And then you define the style that you want to apply if the condition is verified, or the style you want to apply if the condition is not verified. So it's a bit limited. Okay, it's a bit limited because it's just working for, okay, is the condition verified true? Is the condition verified not verified false? And then we apply this kind of style. But in future updates, I'm going to do something like you can apply a full logic to it, not only just this is it verified or not. Okay, because you can see that with Excel, you have a lot of conditional formatting. Okay, you can, for example, you can see like top 10 item, this kind of stuff, yeah. But still, with my code, you can still also do it. Okay, you just have to be creative because when I'm applying the styling and this and I'm executing the function of the on the element, all of this argument is being fired into my function. Okay, so I have the cell, the full row, the call index, the element. So according to that, you can do a lot of design. Yeah, you can do a lot of design and apply your own logic, and yeah, you can verify the condition to true or false, but it would still require some update to be done. I really hope you can understand, but if you trying to read my code, I think yeah, you can really understand it easy. So basically that's it. This is the styling you have to do to have such thing, for example, in Excel. Yeah, so you can see that the the data is green if it's bad, and green is good, and red if it's bad, period. But this was only for Excel. Okay, this was only for Excel. Now for PowerPoint, and as I said before, I didn't synchronize the styling like between PowerPoint and Excel, which means I have to define another mm, function and sometime no another styling blueprint, the one I was telling you above, and another function sometimes, not all the time, for the verification. Is it, yeah, I have to do this. For example, look into the Excel one. Is it? Yeah, you can see for Excel, where is the function? Yeah, I have to return is format condition verified to false. You can see the key name is this one, is format condition verified to false and verified. But for PowerPoint, oh, I believe it's the same thing. So it's my bad, it's a mistake. It's my bad. So, but anyway, there's a lot of differences in the key name, okay, of those dictionary. That's why I have to redefine it in the PowerPoint. But it's quite the same if you pay attention. If you want to do this for your own data, just come here, you use the sample, and you just edit it, and you're done. Or you can even use ChatGPT or Claude. I did it for one of them here, and then ChatGPT will understand it, and he will set up all the design. I think this one is from ChatGPT, if I'm not mistaken. He have already did the design for me, and then I just copy and paste and have it. All right. So for the PowerPoint one, it's almost the same stuff. Okay, I have a cell default style, which is in another file. Yeah, this is the cell default style I'm using here, and then I do a deep copy of it to not like rewrite the whole things, and then I can edit what I want to edit right here. So you can see that the header style is being set up to 11. The font board is true. The font color is this one is black. For PowerPoint, I have a character space to 4. This is, you can see that we don't have this one for the Excel. Okay, that's why I have a different styling blueprint. The background color is orange for the header. The alignment is center, and the indent level is set up to 0. Let's go to the PowerPoint one. So this is for the PowerPoint one. It's almost the same thing, but this one is really helpful because with PowerPoint, with PPTX, it's really hard to design. So my code is really help you right here. You just have to define what you want. Okay, I have defined the styling for the row. That's the default row styling. Yeah, you can see the name is not quite the same. I will update it later. Over there, I put default column style, but here I put header style. Here also I put row style. Here is the threshold. Do you remember this one for the Excel? Here the green style, in case like we're applying the logic and then it's more than the threshold, we apply the green style. This one here the red style. Okay. So here's the blueprint, the same as the Excel one. Okay. So you have the blueprint here for the PowerPoint. But you can see that it's quite different. You know, I didn't wrote the code at the same time. I wrote the Excel. I think I wrote the Excel first, and then after I wrote for the PowerPoint reporter next. That's why it's quite different, bro. So here I use something that I call S keys. So if you go to PPTX reporter, you can see the S keys. So S key is just quite attributes. So the attribute is just the key name, you know, in the dictionary. So for example, instead of header, for example, you can see for the Excel one, I put header. Instead of using header, you can use like S keys header, but it's almost the same thing. You're going to put header for you here. Why I did it that way is to make less mistake. Okay, it's to make less mistake. So if you are using VS Code, for example, oh, where is it? You can do something like S keys, and you do dots. You can see you have you have all the attribute right here. Okay, so you can just select one of the attributes. You can do like, okay, hate, for example, and then you will just specify the hate. Okay, it's better instead of you writing your own key name, like you would do like header. Okay, you can make a mistake, and then after you execute it, you have to go through the whole code. Oh, where is the key? What I did bad? Why this key name doesn't match with the key name and to the PPTX report or this kind of stuff. That's why I did it that way. I will do it for the Excel one in future updates, but yeah, I want to show you. Yeah, if you want to, how to say, bring a suggestion, also you're most welcome, as I say. But so don't think it's that much different from the Excel one. That's what I'm explaining to you right here. So as I say, it's almost the same like the Excel one. It is split into two parts. We have the header and the row. Okay. For the header, we have the style with default style header, which is this one. I don't have to repeat it, but yeah, I hope you understand. We have the height, which is set to 45 this time. I think it's a bit bigger. That's why you have, yeah, you can see that it's quite different from the Excel one. The Excel one is much smaller. Yeah, but the PowerPoint one is much bigger. That's why you have it to 45. But as I said before, all of this is in pixels unit. All right. So here we define like, do you want to like set up a custom style? I explained to you above what is custom style. Normally it shouldn't be here. Here is better to put it here. So custom style here is what I called in Excel. What name I give to Excel now? Let me check. Let me go to the Excel one and see. Yeah, in Excel I put is there style formatting. You see, but because as I said before, the PowerPoint code I've been writing it after the Excel one, and I think I corrected all the mistake or all the misname that I did in the Excel reporter. So the PowerPoint one is more cleaner, more easy, and yeah, the variable name is everything is okay here. Okay, that's why I did it different. So for example, we in the Excel one we put like style formatting, but here the name is more clear. We just put is there a custom style? False. No. If it was a custom style, we would define it here. Okay. Oh, I don't know why it does it. It does this. What I was. Yeah, is there a conditional formatting? No. Is there a conditional formatting style? No. Is there a merge style? No. This kind of stuff. So merge style is for multi-index. How to say? Multi-index pandas data frame. You know, sometimes there's a multi-index. Like the header will be like two. We have like two header. You know, like a big type. For example, how to say? I will show you later. I'll show you later. Better don't show you, don't confuse you. The next big part of these things will be the row. We already did the header. So for the row, we will apply which style we want to apply. The style have been defined here. We have a deep copy of the cell, and then we have all this style after the row. Yeah, the next parameters is there a custom style? Yeah, true. They're going to be custom style for the threshold and the for the to apply the logic to the rows. So for the custom style, the first custom style I call it threshold colon. So the call concern is the threshold, this one, and then the style. This is the style that we are going to apply to the threshold column. So basically, I think what's really changed is just the background. Yeah, just the background. You can see the background is like light green. That's all. What else? And yeah, next is the conditional formatting. You can see that here the name is is really right. You know, we put like, is there conditional formatting style? We set it to true. Okay, and then in the conditional formatting style, this is the first conditional formatting style we define. We call it uptime threshold check. You see here the name is, yeah, it's more, I mean, it's talking to me, is I'm buying it compared to the Excel one. As I said before, the Excel one, it needs a lot of update. I will do it and maybe synchronize it with the PowerPoint one. So maybe I will have like only one um styling blueprint. Okay, so this is the logic that we are going to apply to those colon that are defined here. So basically it's all the colon. It's almost the same like the Excel one. Okay, and then this is the function that we are going to apply to them. You know, as I said before, um to write, we just looping through the whole data frame, and then when we wish, for example, this column, we are going to apply this function, and you can see all this variable or argument will be fired to the function. So it be the cell, the element that we are in right now, the update for argument, and even the styling. You can see that for the PowerPoint one, this is even more interesting than the Excel one. Here you can even apply some styling. Maybe you want to apply some styling to the, how to say, while you're applying your logic. Here is really flexible. Okay, I'm going to do another video only for the PowerPoint one, so you can understand what I am saying. I hope you can understand. All right, that's all. That's all. Yeah, the code condition, and then if the condition is verified, which style you want to apply. If the condition is not verified, which style we want to apply. Same as the Excel, and you're done. And you're done. And then after that, I have this main function where I'm showing you how you can use it. For example, for the Excel, you have to call Excel manager classes for the Excel reporter. This is a Excel manager. Okay, and this is it. You have to specify the worksheet. You will pass the data frame and the sheet style. What I call the sheet style is just the sheet blueprint. Okay, where you want to start to fill the data. And yeah, if there's not, if the data is empty, what message you want to put in the cell, this kind of stuff. Here is just a small auto adjust to remove the margin, not margin, like to make it more adjustable. You can see it. It's not something like that, you know, is more adjustable. You can do this also automatically, I believe. You can see. Yeah, basically that's it. This is for the Excel. No, it's stop here. And here is for the PowerPoint. Here I define a new PowerPoint, and then I have the font for the title. This is the parameters for the PowerPoint. I think I'm going to do another video only for PowerPoint, not mix the Excel and PowerPoint. Then you can add a slide, and then you can use the most important method, which is fill the table and pass the table style, okay, which is the PPT, which is the blueprint I showed you before, or all these things. And yeah, you can save it. You can save it. So let's run all of this. Oh, there was a mistake. Okay, I think because our file were open, that's why we have the mistake. Let's run it again. Yeah, it's good. Now let's go to, yeah, this is it right here. You can see it just having generated now 12/24, 12/24 of today. Today is um November 10. And bam, you can see this is it. This is it. This is it. To make it more real, let's edit the header, just the threshold one, and you can see that what how you can edit easily your data. Uh, so to do this, this is for the PowerPoint, right? Mm, where is it? Okay. So we are going to do, is there a custom style? Yeah, true. First, let me create the threshold. I will do like threshold header style. Okay. So nothing crazy. I will just do a deep copy of the threshold style that I'm using. No, 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 no. Of this header style. Yeah. Okay. And then I will just change the background color. Okay. Which color I'm going to use now? Okay, let's use the same color as the rows. If I think if it's the same color, okay, I don't even need to define it. Let's just use this one. All right. So I'm going to call S keys and then style. Yeah. You can see it's pretty easy. You don't need to write the whole things. You know, if you don't know the key name, then I think style. Even me, I need to look how it is being defined. Okay. You don't need to memorize it in your mind. No, at all. You can just take one of the demo that I did and you have to edit it. As I said before, all of these, for example, have been generated with clothes. I didn't even do it by myself. I just did for the Excel one, but I didn't do for the for PowerPoint one. So you can even use AI to do this. I believe now for after I put this down, let me see. Yeah, this is how I define the style here. Okay. So now I have to give a name to the style. I will just put threshold header style. Yeah, threshold header style. We don't need style because we already know it's a style. Okay. Then I need to define the colon constant. Let's just copy this one right here to go first. Okay, cool. So these have been set to true. Don't forget to set this to true. Now let's execute to see. Oh, sorry. Let's execute the whole things. Let me close the PowerPoint one. Uh, I think there was a mistake, but where I don't know. I think it's only for the PowerPoint one. Yeah. I have to split it. I think one of the method I'm passing is none or something. Are they rising it? Yeah, I think since I'm using uh this Jupyter, I think sometimes the variable or things like that have been cached. So yeah, you cannot see it. Hmm. Okay, no problem. I'm going to show you with another code. This demo in Jupyter, it doesn't suit well. I think I already have this issue before. All right, let's go to another demo that I did here. For example, this is one is for the multi-index I was talking about. Oh, no, sorry. Let's now go to another demo. For example, this is a demo for PowerPoint demo sales. So this is the data about sales. So let's execute it. It's almost the same thing as I showed you before. We have a conditional formatting method. We have the styling blueprint. What is style? Yeah, this is the style. Okay, you can predefine it. So it's almost the same thing as the one or as the other one I showed you. For example, the header here, I have to apply a specific width for the header. Everything is on it with pixels. So I already executed. Let me show you in PowerPoint. Yeah, this is the cell one. All right, so you can see that here I'm also using the logic. I'm also applying logic to the, how to say, to this column. Okay, so I have it like a kind of threshold, and if total sale is more than this target, it's going to be green. If it's less, it's going to be red. And I can even highlight the best sale representative. Okay, this is all done with the function that I showed you before. Okay, this is one of them. There's a lot of demo. You can just go through and yeah, and see how it's been done. I also have one. Yeah, I think this is the last one. I also have one for Excel right here. Let me execute this one to see. Okay. What's the name of it? Okay, this is real estate real estate property report. You can see, yeah. So you can see it's also the same thing. We highlight. We applied like a logic to the data by highlighting, this kind of stuff. We can also generate charts. The charting, how to say, the charting code, I'm still working on it. It is not ready 100%. But yeah, you are welcome, most welcome to bring your suggestion. Yeah, you can create chart with also the code. So basically, this is what I did. This is what I did. Uh, so you can give a look and bring your suggestion to it. For the requirements, I'm using Python PPTX, OpenPyXL, and Pandas. And yeah, you can generate your environment variable. So you can generate your environment, Python environment, and then yeah, work with it. And then yeah, I'm going to put all this code on GitHub, and yeah, we will see. Thank you for watching, and then yeah, more videos to come. More videos to come.